now we are starting to stream.
Right, alright, so welcome to session 30, where it is all kicking off. Let's start, as is traditional, by quickly recapping what happened last time. So we had the power-up sequences for Prison and also Thomas. Mr. Rasmus. What will happen to you, Barracks?
I'm a dragon now. Very short, I went back to where I was made. I took a bath in a big tub of red goop or purple goop, some kind of goop. And I came out a giant actual dragon who can breathe fire, but can no longer speak. And also I have a little mini-me that can ride around on people's shoulders, because obviously on account of being a dragon I can't actually go into small spaces.
Is the little mini prison, is he a projection of yourself or just a separate entity?
It's a mini barracks rather than a mini prison.
Oh, stop putting the actual place in the game, I'm sure it'll get very confusing.
Oh, actually, that would be amazing. No, it's like a mini barracks. Actually, now that I think about it, it should be like a little snake.
Yeah.
That you can wear like a scarf.
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, so
you also formed a psychic bond with Nai, which enables you to telepathically speak with her, and then she can.
Oh yeah, you
you
can't speak anymore.
And she does also have a nice barracks sock puppet to put on to indicate when it's him who is speaking.
Yes. Perfect.
So that happened, and also Mr. Rasmus had a sudden encounter which enabled some of his powers.
Yeah, doing some research, he found an ancient scroll called Bedtime for Bonzo, which of course features the prophet of Reconomics in the flesh. So he somehow created like a holographic projection, and ended up inside of this ancient scroll, where he did a wizard battle in Resurrect with the founder of Reconomics, and eventually convinced him that Mr. Rasmus is the new incarnation of Reconomics in some way. So
yes,
he has gained more state-like appearance also, and hidden abilities that will be revealed this session.
Yes, so that will happen. You also just check that I get this set up right first. But having done all of that, you prepared back to the battlefield, and you had a hand in laying out the dispersal of the forces, all of the war machines and troops and so forth, also the Titan, which you have prepared for this battle. And just alright, fine. So it is looking like this.
Okay, let's see, I'm far too zoomed in. Yeah.
So for anyone who hasn't seen this before, basically the area in the middle that has the red ellipse, that is the mountain barrage. The red kind of device in the middle is the facility that you're at before, like the control facility. All the bar grid type things, those are the firing ports on the mountain, which shoot big old slugs of metallic lava. All of the blue circles, those are the range of the artillery pieces that you've set out. Some of them are anti-air, some of them are anti-ground. The other units and stuff that are scattered around the place are the various different types of troops and machines and stuff that you have laid out. So there's got some light armor on the flanks of the mountain, some heavy armor behind it, various artillery pieces, and then you've got some troops laid about the place, including a couple of units of elite troops, which are kind of out in the plains up to the northeast. So they're hopefully going to be doing some ambush backstabby action. And down at the bottom left, you also have various fast, so the plain-looking ones, which are like jet-like, and the slow ones, which are more helicopter-like, which, yeah, are in kind of bottom section. The big old boy down in the center south is the Titan, which is currently hiding inside a lake.
I'll be honest, I'm probably going to forget quite a few of these things as we go by, because this is the first time I've seen this, and wow, there's a lot going on.
Yep.
We have names for everything, which is good. But I just want to double check what the vertical lines are all over the place. Those are lava vents.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Mountain barrage.
And so the big red circle is the area that the mountain barrage can fire in.
Mhm.
The big blue circles.
So actually, the red circle is kind of it's like the critical zone, you might say, of the mountain barrage. So anything that's in that is going to get hit particularly hard, but mountain barrage can hit anything that is on the map,
Okay.
being a long-range defense.
And what about the other big blue, pale blue circles?
So those are the ranges of the artillery pieces that have been set out, mostly kind of behind the mountains.
By our robo-chums.
I'm a little bit worried that most of the artillery's optimal zones are actually in the middle of the mountain barrage.
I was waiting to get close.
Wait, is this air artillery, not ground artillery?
It's a
Bit of
mixture
both.
So
Okay.
they're labeled which is each.
Okay.
I think that the general idea, and you can correct us on this if it's a terrible idea, is that we, hold fire until they are in the optimal position and then just unleash the horribleness.
That's fine. We just don't know how many they're going to send ahead. Going to be the whole batch of them or just a few of them?
True. So we're doing this thing where we're trying to lure them in. We have posted that sort of phony message that we're trying to get this thing in, under our control, and we're failing. We have basic troops, a couple of garrisons of troops around the mountain barrage thing, and their job is basically to run away, make it look like, oh crap, now we're screwed.
Oh, like these three that are right here, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once they do that, hopefully that will draw them in with more confidence.
Yeah, there's you might notice that the group of troops that are there are two basic and one advanced unit, and they're acting as bait. So you've got your two basic baits and then your one mat.
Mm.
Oh, okay. And everybody else is kind of hiding around the side.
So I think the elite ones are there to, if there is some kind of a confrontation or fight around the facility itself, then they are there to help you handle that.
Okay. So where's everybody going to be during all this? I imagine Jack's inside of Titan.
Well, that was the question. So I've put all of your oh wait, hold on. Can you see all of your icons kind of on the left-hand side?
Yep.
Are we missing one?
Yep.
No, yeah, I can see me.
Yep. So feel free to basically position your icons wherever you would want to be positioned.
I'd probably like to go in the mountain barrage control room if I can.
Yep,
I mean,
that
I'm
works.
assuming, when are we actually going to just launch attack once they close in on the central area? We don't need these free troop guys to literally run all the way back before we start attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're basically going to be used for kiting, so how far they have to go kind of depends on what the aliens do.
Okay. So I guess I can hit the button, fire that magma.
Yeah, sure. You don't have to have someone posted there for that. You can do it remotely, but it might be useful to have someone there in case something goes wrong.
Why not? I mean, what could possibly go wrong in this sort of situation?
And I guess I will say as well, if you have someone posted there, I think that's gonna basically help you use them more effectively. So it'll give you like some kind of bonus rewards.
Well, Fane's never been much of a fighter, so he will stay there. I mean, I say he's not much of a fighter. Apparently, he can just charge through walls now, so. But he'll stay here for now.
Minin still hasn't shown up after disappearing at the capital.
Oh yeah. Oh, didn't we have there's one thing we've not realised at all. The mystical traveller from another dimension said he was going to help us.
That is also true.
And we've not heard anything from him. He's been terrible at getting back in touch with us.
I've sent email after email,
Yeah.
but
Voicemails.
yeah.
Well, you haven't made any efforts to contact him in any way so far, to be fair.
True. Well, we did do the initial one, but that'll be it. That's all he needs. He'll know what to do now.
Yeah, true. But I mean, you haven't asked him for anything after that.
Oh yeah, we probably should have done. So I'll just
Grunted.
hello. Hello. I'm sorry, I can't imitate the weirdly deep voice he has.
Okay, so we got Shaq down in the Titan. Looks like Rasmus is hanging back with the heavy armor, which is arrayed out behind the mountain. Stason, I guess that's going to be your position there, kind of in with the heavy armor as well.
In the Stason Ambulance.
And we'll get to that in a sec. Minim is, you can just put your icon wherever, but
Sure.
for now you're like, off the battle. Let's see. And then oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, okay. And we got Barracks and Nye seem to be hanging out in the mountain.
Yeah, I want to be able to swoop and fly.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a quick question, if I may. The Titan, would it be best for me to pilot it, or are the aliens that were actually genetically bred to pilot it going to be a better solution?
I'm going to say it's kind of like a Titanfall situation. Like they're like the Titan's AI basically, and so they're like competent at piloting it and such, but it takes a true hero like the Shackman to put it to its full potential and get the most out of it.
Okay, and I'm going to look forward to escaping out the back and then doing a chaos dunk from the flying that it gives me. It's gonna.
Oh wow, extra.
Be out hundreds of feet in the air.
I'm sure there's an ejector seat. You giant robot.
Are you not able to do the chaos dunk with the mech? Just dunk a battleship into another battleship?
Who knows? We'll see.
Indeed we shall. Alright, so the time is, let's see, this is the early morning on, I think, it's the early morning of the 4th day since you first encountered the alien fleet and made your way swiftly back to the Citadel, and since then been doing various missions to recover all of these artifacts. So, it's the... Sorry, yeah?
I was going to make drugs for everybody to keep them happy and motivated and
That's right.
Yeah.
So actually I think we worked out in the last session that basically when you went back to Prison's place, you saw these big tankers of performance enhancers basically that were meant to let the test subjects kind of survive all their nasty shit, but could be adapted with the hands of a skilled alchemist to basically make like a battle stim kind of thing. So to let's see. So when we last left you, Fayan, you were basically in a coma as you went through the process of taking this series of drugs which you unlocked out of the puzzle box. I'm going to say that we'll kind of slightly leave behind the scenes exactly what happened when you took the last 3 doses.
Oh, have I taken the last 3?
Well,
keeping for a special occasion.
Well, it's kind of part and parcel. Like the point of this Stash Supreme is that you take each of the special, unique doses in the correct order, and that goes together to form like a mega trip that will truly transform you.
Okay. Just like
so-
the Jack Gate, you have to open them in the right order. You can't just pop them when you feel like it.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
exactly.
So basically, the long shot of that, the overall effect of that is that, so previously we've seen that you've had some ability to, super convince yourself of your powers. And so far it's been, with the help of illusions and stuff, it's been, they haven't really been real as such, but through the use of illusions and your own being so convinced of your powers, that is tended to have the same effect, as it were. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, especially because you were using them basically for inspiration. But when you take the last 3 basically it is going to, or it has warped reality to such an extent, or warped your perception of reality to such an extent that you now see how to truly take control of it in various ways. So it's kind of, it is a bit like Reaganomics basically, but it's more of a drug-fueled and more individual kind of version of it as well. It's less about changing other people's reality and more about kind of changing your own.
So to sort of
Sense.
paraphrase Ali G, is this the type of E that can actually make me fly?
Yes, that basically sums it up, I guess.
Awesome.
Cool.
Right.
So
I find it really interesting that Reaganomics works when Reagan was such a huge fan of the war on drugs.
So that is all that, and I think having gone through that process, you emerge from it a changed man, Fayen, but look, not just capable and compos mentis, but like ultra compos mentis, compos ultra mentis. Indeed. So with that, you arrive back at the scene of the battle early enough that you can have a hand in concocting these tankers of battle stims. So to do that, let's have you do an intellect roll without a set difficulty, and let's just see what result you get. You can certainly be specialized in this and have 2 assets.
Okay, let me select some skills. Asset points. I'm assuming this would be alchemy.
Yes, certainly. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm already specialising then. And I put 2 points of effort in because at this point it doesn't cost me much. Let me just click around a bunch of things. Okay, so intellecting. That's not bad.
Okay,
Not bad at all.
14.
Truly good enough to achieve tasks that most would consider completely impossible. So let's see. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. So basically, you direct, along with the church chemists, the concoction and dispersal of this kind of wonder drug, and as it is distributed throughout the forces, how is it distributed, by the way? Is it just like, is everyone handed like a juice box, or what?
I kind of like the juice box analogy. I was going to go with something more sensible there, but no, everyone gets a juice box. Milk happens and just stick straw into it, just suck all that juice box. And juice. Hydrated.
So over the course of, I don't know, a couple of hours leading up to this or something, as this was distributed, there's not actually a grand spectacular effect in what you observe, but up until now, it is a huge force that is gathered here, it's distributed over the whole area, and there's a certain amount of chaos in the way everything is being run. Like, as I described before, this isn't a set, like, standing, organized army. It's just a collection of all of the vaguely battle-ready forces that could be drawn up at all, and they've just been, like, thrown at these war machines, which luckily are pretty user-friendly. But still, most people have no particular idea how to kind of wage war on this scale and with this level of technology. But you start to see that when people start getting dosed with this stuff, basically everything just very quickly starts to kind of self-organize. All of the different bands and groups and kind of divisions that have been drawn up, they start to kind of get their head in the game and draw themselves into kind of proper formation. You see a lot of kind of war machines that were standing like idle or just kind of being tested and wrestled with. They come fully online and all of their running lights light up and all of that kind of stuff. Well, let's see. I guess basically Fayan or anyone else who during this time has kind of close contact with the troops, who goes down and mingles with them. I guess that would probably include Scoob in particular, probably Erasmus as well. You basically kind of see that they've gone from like scared peasants to like super hooah marine type soldiers. They're just completely getting on with it, with anything, rather than ever being uncertain what to do. They just kind of get on with the nearest thing that's there. If they don't know what to do, weapons and all that kind of stuff. So basically, you've transformed with this dosing this kind of giant rabble of unprepared and scared people into battle-hardened soldiers, as if they had done this many times before. So that will
justify the concept of that video game haze.
yeah, so pretty much.
Not my intent, but desperate times.
Call for desperate drugs.
I'm just gonna quickly take a moment to put some numbers on all of these various preparations that we made. I do have, like, most of them I can read, but one of them I've just written down matter squiggle. So I don't know what that was supposed to represent.
Nothing like a good note.
You know, the matter squiggle.
Hmm.
Not the matter squiggle.
We can threaten them with it later.
Okay, cool. Alright, so I think that we have basically done all of the preparations that we can do, and it is now simply a matter of waiting for the aliens to make their move. So you will wait in this rather tense atmosphere. There's a kind of background kind of drum and clatter of all the machines kind of moving around, although they are very much on orders to be quiet and inconspicuous. And in fact, all of the lights and so forth get kind of turned out as darkness sweeps across the mountains and everything goes eerily quiet. The first thing that you become aware of that basically initiates the battle is, well, for a start, actually before that, Fayen, because you're in the control center of the mountain barrage, and as well as coordinating all the attacks and so forth, that basically has a long-range scanner, and you can confirm that the very large alien fleet which you've seen moving across the map is now converging on this location, and it will be coming from the northeast direction.
Is it the whole fleet or just part of the fleet?
It is basically the whole fleet. You've seen as they've been moving across the map that rather than kind of splitting off into different wings and kind of spreading out, that they've been keeping their whole fleet together. And I think you've got some kind of, I think it was actually Bloody Teddy's character, whose name I have temporarily forgotten the name of, who got some kind of
secret.
Yes.
true. Yeah, you haven't even met him yet, so...
Ruggerek.
Oh, Ruggerek, that's right. Let's say actually during this time he's been on a secret mission, and as a result he's basically kind of tapped you into their communications. From that you would pick up that although they're pretty confident about the kind of strength of the forces that they're going to be facing, they are keeping together all in one group, just in case of any contingency. Because of, although they rate the sophistication and development of your civilization as being very low and not really a threat, they are aware that you have a lot of advanced technology that's been left on this planet. So basically they're holding it together in a huddle just in case deploy something that they're not expecting. So the first sign of their attack, which happens before they come into view and into what is kind of shown on this map here, is basically you see a lot of points of light appear in the sky, and they kind of arc upwards overhead, and then as they come closer you see that it seems to be basically a barrage of missiles that is flying across the space towards the mountain barrage. So I don't have icons for those, but they're basically starting kind of off in the northeast. In terms of like initiative and turns and things, for now we're going to play it fairly fast and loose. Kind of needless to say, each turn is going to represent a larger amount of time than it normally does. Let's say it's going to be something like 10 minutes to kind of start off with. So that will represent time that enables the units you control to, move a certain distance. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it in terms of how far they move, and you can kind of pick that up. I haven't laid out specific stats for each unit type and movement speed and so forth, but I think we'll be able to wing it successfully. So basically, I'm going to say that the missiles are flying over the landscape towards you. You have a turn to make some kind of reaction before they land and make contact. So we're not going to have any particular turn order for now. Whoever has ideas on how to deal with any situations like these can just pipe up, and you'll all get at least one chance to do something before the next turn comes around.
I don't think I asked before, but are the sort of firing ports visible to the world, or are they? Do they sort of fold open and whatever? Does it just look like a normal mountain? Would be my question.
Okay, so basically, they are visible. I don't have a picture to hand. Do I have one?
We
Yeah,
have already revealed the existence of this. That something important is here.
Yeah.
Like, that was part of the fake help signal we sent out. So
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they have any sort of natural protection against this sort of barrage.
Like protection against lava.
No, no, our guns having protection against this oncoming missile strike.
I'm trying to think why would they just launching missiles at our? I mean, do we know where it's targeted other than just this vague direction?
They seem to be heading toward the mountain range, but being missiles, they might change course.
Okay, well, if we shoot it down with a mountain barrage, well, that might be most effective to kind of give away that we have control over it.
Yeah.
So,
How many missiles are there?
Let's see. It's a very large barrage of something like 100 missiles.
bloody hell.
Like how clustered are they?
Hold on, let me draw that out. Oops.
Ooh, I might have a thing that can help with this. Will it help with it? Okay, this will not help. Never mind. I've got metal death, and I thought, oh, this is brilliant. It covers an area of 3 foot by 3 foot. That's not going to take out 100 missiles.
close.
Close. It could take out one missile. Two at a push.
So here's what I suspect: if these guys are interested in are they interested in reclaiming the ancient technology that we have, or are they interested in just blowing up our world? Like, what's the actual motivation for these guys?
Yeah, they're basically here to loot the planet of all of the interesting, technology and whatnot that they have sensed as being here.
So, knowing that there's something important here, and knowing that their motivation is to loot the important things, my thought is that these are not missiles at all, gentlemen. These are the way by which they propel their ground troops. To work.
Interesting.
There are perhaps troops inside those missiles which are being deployed in a very Gears of War like drill.
I mean, to check for a giant worm underneath all this, by the way.
Can I do any sort of scans with long-range scanners to detect life forms or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that will be intellect. Let's see. Okay, so by the way, this yellow rectangle which I've drawn out on the right-hand side. Actually, you know what? Let's make that a little bit stubbier. But this is going to be basically the area that is covered by these missile-like objects. Why can't I select it?
And what have we got down there? Is that our? I see some light troops down there.
Yeah.
So you have two kind of divisions of elite troops, which, along with air transport, which are hiding out in planes in order to try and attack the rear if the aliens go past them.
I assume that the elite troops are in the elite transport. The transport.
Yeah.
The transport doesn't contain further troops.
No. So each transport will contain 2 units of troops, and each of them does contain 2 units of elite troops.
Okay.
All right. So Fayan, let's have you to do the scan to an intellect roll. This is going to be difficulty 7. Numenera would count.
Numenera, I am trained to Numenera. And don't get any assets. Bloody hell, this is going to be a difficult one. I'm gonna put 3 points of effort in. That should make it about 50-50 shot. Let's give it a go. Nope.
Alright, so all of you were able to get kind of basic readings, like it's flashing up all kinds of warnings saying, imminent attack, and just saying that there is projectiles coming at you, and it lists the number as 83.
Right.
Okay, my idea is
Yeah.
they're made out of metal.
Yeah, let's say they are.
Okay, so I could try and at least fry some of them. Maybe not all of them, but sort of keep strafing them with fireballs, and I'm picturing Nye, hooking onto them and yanking them out of the way.
Oh yeah, doing a revengeance thing.
Hmm.
The gravity tether.
Yes.
Like knocking one rocket into another rocket so they explode and take out all the other rockets around them and stuff.
But if they
That kind
don't
of stuff.
explode, that kind of lends credence to Blaze's idea that they're actually
Exactly. And if there are in fact drop pods, then
drop.
Yeah. that would help us a lot.
Alright, I'm liking this
Okay.
a great deal. So you're going to be flying out basically to intercept these missiles and do like a combination attack. We try and take out as many of them as possible using a combination of breath attacks, barracks, and Nye's gravity tether.
Yeah. Now, is there any way to make this look like it's a defensive action to facilitate a retreat?
As long as we don't reveal kind of the entire bulk of what of our forces, I think that it'll just look like you've got two extremely advanced troops covering the retreat.
Yeah.
I think that's like as long as for instance I don't get the Titan up in the mix immediately, we're not revealing our full strength, and I think that'll
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Okay, so that's what you two are doing. Is anyone else doing anything?
Can I try and no, actually I don't think I can. I don't think I literally can use my. I was gonna say, can I use the sensors on a Titan to try and divine more about these things? But I literally don't have the intellect necessary to do a roll that high. So
What about your alien co-pilots?
So the co-pilots, I'm going to say they give you basically the same kind of relatively basic information as the Mountain Barrage did.
okay.
They might, let's see, they could probably do a like a more advanced scan, but you would have to emerge from the lake to do that.
Yeah, I'm not breaking cover yet. Okay. I'm gonna wait patiently and for the perfect time to strike.
Cool. Right, would anyone else like to do anything?
Thomas, are you talking? Oh,
No?
right. Sorry.
Okay, that's cool. So you're all laying low, and you're going to
you're
entrust
buzzing a bit
dealing
there.
with this to barracks. To barracks and Nye. Cool. So let's see. Okay, so you're. Sorry, someone's got some kind of like.
It's a weird buzzing coming from
Yeah.
Thomas. I'm afraid.
Yeah, he's turned into a
Like
demon.
some kind of voice
It's Thomas.
happening in the background.
I think it's just his microphone.
Yeah, there's a blender
Pretty
going off
easy.
in the background, so it might be me it's picked up. I'll just go on mute while it's.
No, it wasn't
going.
you,
it's
it was
Thomas.
definitely Thomas. You can see his green circle coming up.
Oh, okay.
You
Just,
trying to
I
talk?
can see my own as well.
That's what I was confirming. Like, if
You
it
are
was
trying to
his.
talk. We cannot hear you.
Oh, I just try and mute myself and see if I can just.
There's push to talk functionality.
Yeah, it sounds like there's some kind of voice going on in your headphones or something like that. It's effective. But okay, so
Maybe it's just in your head.
okay, so these missiles are streaking across the black expanse of the plain on the other side of the mountains, and I think, yeah, let's. So we know roughly what's going to happen. So let's first roll to see how this works. So I think, yeah, I think with both of you, if you again do whichever kind of roll you think is most appropriate for what you're going to describe, think it's going to be might for Varix, and I think it's going to be speed for Nai. No set difficulty, just try and get as high a number as you can, and that will kind of determine how many of these things you destroy. So yeah, go ahead.
How do I do it again with just adding effort and assets and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. You just add those. Don't set a difficulty, and then it will tell us what difficulty you've beaten.
Right.
Because you're working together on this, you'll certainly have whatever bonuses you have with that link. Those abilities that you have. Yeah, I guess that'll probably cover that aspect of it. So you go ahead and work out what that comes to.
Okay, let's see.
I think we get one asset, right, from being together.
Yeah. So,
Another one? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, this is sort of an acrobatics role for me in any case, which is something I'm specialised in.
Yeah, it definitely counts as that. I think.
Sorry to interrupt, but what is this soundtrack on the music?
Let's see. This is Laser, which is a band.
I have not listened to them before.
Okay.
Rad. Wow, nice. We got a 11 and an 8.
Is the band anything to do with the film?
I don't think so. No, it's just one of these 80s revival band kind of things.
Okay.
Or, well, having said that, they're not really. There wasn't really much like this in the 80s, but it's whatever, dark.
It feels like the 80s.
Dark wave, dark synth.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Cool. Okay, so let's see. What I'm gonna do is add your totals together and double them. Just gonna give you so 57 times 2 that's more than enough. So you're gonna destroy every single one of these missiles that is coming in.
Wow.
As you get closer, you see that they are. Let's see, do I have a picture to hand? 2 seconds.
Okay, so I think while that is happening, I'm sort of trying to fake act like, I'm trying to look like I'm gesturing towards a small amount of troops right down, in the centre, and trying to, organise some sort of retreat. I don't know how I would totally convey that, but I'd be pointing as, get out, run.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine you as you're riding on Varix's back, you got your finger up to your ear in the universal symbol of I'm on the radio.
Yeah.
And whenever you're doing that, you're kind of looking back at the mountain. You could maybe fire flares or something in that direction.
We've also got we also still have got the unencrypted radio channel that we used to perform the original fake.
That's true, actually.
You're going to be monitoring that, so in fact, you can put on a whole show of doing that. In fact, Nye, give me another. This is going to be a intellect roll, I'm afraid.
Oh, good.
Do a bit of acting and try and give that impression still that you don't have any large forces, still just have a small expeditionary force at the control center.
Okay.
So I think this is going to be because you already convinced them before that this was the case. This will be, I think, difficulty 6.
Okay, so I'll be speaking over the radio, saying something like, "Okay, this is a lost cause. Just get out. We can't lose any people over this. Over this."
Right. So as you let's see. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to do it this way. Just give me 2 seconds. Just setting up another page where I have various pictures of machines and stuff, but I don't want to show them all at once.
Okay.
Alright, so as you get closer and get in amongst them, you see that indeed these don't look like regular missiles, which you'll not exactly have been familiar with in general, but you'll have seen some of them, during the course of seeing all these war machines and stuff, so you know kind of basically what they should look like. And these do indeed look rather more like crafts than missiles. Specifically, they look like. So this is mostly going to be a black screen, but kind of over towards the right, towards the top, you will see two designs.
Yeah.
So look roughly like that. So they do basically look like kind of small, possibly troop-carrying transports. Most of the missiles, in quotes, kind of look like that. They're streaking over the air, and you and you and Barracks successfully destroy all of them with your really decent rolls. So go
Okay.
ahead, please, and describe for me how that looks.
Okay. Well, before we start, big hug.
But I mean, you have to hold on.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm already holding on, but I, lean forward, round the neck,
Yeah.
little hug, little kiss, and say good luck. Oh, rare to you too. And I essentially run along your back to your tail, and then just like forward dive right down, and sort of gravity hook my way onto anything nearby.
Yeah, so it's just like a big fleet of ships, basically. So it is, and they're all relatively concentrated together. Given that your gravity tether now has a rather long range, it's pretty. It turns out to be very easy for you to just hook onto one and just kind of swing your way all around it to both fling yourself at another one and also just kind of rend apart the one that you were hooked onto and just kind of send it flaming off course, falling towards the ground. So you can just hook from like one to the other and just spring about in a revengeance type fashion.
So as she hooks onto them and attaches more and more broken crafts onto that tether, I fly in a big arc and use that as a sort of flail to knock the other ones that are on the other side out of the sky with the wreckages of the now
Oh, nice.
broken other crafts. So boom, headshot.
Nice. All right. So everyone else sees this kind of spectacular firework-like display of Barracks just kind of weaving in and out of this swarm of spaceships and just unleashing its fiery breath and blowing all of those up. Meanwhile, you can't see nigh from this distance, but you can see a succession of these ships just kind of veering off course and then breaking up and blowing up, and generally being destroyed. And so with that, this initial barrage is completely taken out of the picture and goes flaming down to crash into the plains below. Now that whole area, I guess the area laid out by the yellow rectangle, is lit up by distant fires.
Cool. Oh, just in the sake of fairness, did you want me to make an intellect roll for my previous acting?
Oh yeah, do that, didn't we? So
Okay.
yeah, that's a difficulty 6.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 2 effort. That's about all I can do. And I don't think I have any. No, I don't. Oh no, I get,
Most certainly not.
because me and Crescent, I get one
Oh yeah,
one asset. So
defo. Yep.
okay, so that's one. I keep clicking the thing back into 2 assets. So 1 asset, intellect. Oh,
Ooh, nice. All right.
20.
So you put on a sterling performance. The stress of being in this situation lends a convincing edge to your voice, and having worked with this crew and to an extent with the army, now having had some contact with them, and being familiar with the layout of the facility as well, having been there. You're able to perfectly convey the impression that you are indeed kind of defending a desperate fallback from this facility. So that all goes off well. Um, let's say that so the wrecks and so forth that fell down landed quite close to well, kind of both, but especially the lower set of like ambush troops that you've got out in the plains. If you wanted to, you could have them kind of go and investigate that. They probably have a decent chance of doing that undetected amidst all the chaos, but it depends if you have any particular reason to want them to do that. Otherwise, they'll stay in place as hidden as they can be.
I think we could try and get access to maybe some of their communications equipment if it's undamaged. We could try and tap into their communication and see what they're up to.
Maybe yes. My one concern is just we really don't want to risk, blowing our cover just yet.
I will say that if they move out, there will be a chance that they will be detected.
Yes. So maybe we can do this instead?
Then
Depends on like how much you want to sell this retreat.
Yeah, I really do want to.
I'd assume that your acting would be like, everybody back out now. We need all 40 of you.
Yeah.
And down the road, God help us if they come at us.
Both of you.
Yes, Dan, Roger, run!
Okay, here's what we do. We sweep down. It's like we'll cover your retreat.
Yes.
Right. So
Oh,
we can.
actually, yeah, I got another one as well, because Fayan is there at the facility. He's going to be able to play the other side of this. And having previously been in battles that went horribly wrong, he can, and also being ultra drug enabled, he can just summon at will, like completely convincing to him flashback of this horrible battle in his past, and put on a very convincing performance of a panicked soldier who is falling back. Nice. Yeah, so I won't make you roll for that. Let's just include that in the major effect. So yeah, they are very convinced that they are at the current time just facing a small force. So they're not expecting this to be a major battle. So they've had essentially their. Well, let's see. Actually, no. I think that will count as your turn. So I think now it is going to be them again. What they do is, let's see. Okay, I think that they are going to. Just give me a second to think. Yeah. Okay. So what's going to happen is the large bulk, the whole bulk of the invading fleet is going to continue on its course, which is going to take it over the mountain barrage. But before most of them arrive, one ship in particular, actually no, let's say it's two kind of medium-sized ships, move forward ahead of the fleet and are going to be, they're heading for the mountain barrage basically, and presumably they want to capture it. These ships look like... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to reveal all of the different types of machines and briefly go over kind of what they look like. So so there are many different types. What we're looking at here is the tree on the top, tree sheets on the kind of top left. These represent the war machines that you have access to.
Yeah.
And let's see. Actually, I think
They look like Tachikomas.
some of them do, yes. So basically, the ones on the leftmost are the mostly kind of fast air that you have access to. The ones in the middle are, the two in the middle, I'd say the left ones are more like the kind of light armor, and the right ones here are more like heavy armor. Those are all the ones that you have, and then these ones over on the right, even though I used a couple of them for the aliens, they are the slow air that you have. The ones on the bottom are the ones that the alien have, so the larger ships and so forth make up the bulk of the Marauder fleet, are in the bottom left sheet. On the right, the leftermost ones on the right are the larger motherships, and the ones on the far right on the bottom are basically more like kind of troop transports and individual kind of fighting machines and stuff that they have access to. So the two ships that have gone ahead of the rest of the fleet and are advancing on the mountain, I'm going to say are in the bottom left picture. They are these ones which I'm pinging just now. So,
Thing again?
Oops. Right here.
Right,
Actually,
not
no.
right layer. If you're still on the GM layer, we aren't able to see.
Oh,
the
yep.
Yeah,
Let me draw a ship instead. It is these ones.
Okay.
Okay, so taking back to the screen.
Oh.
So two of them emerge from the top right. Let me just say icons. Oops. There's going to be a certain amount of futzing around with icons and stuff. Two of those.
Ew.
So let's see. So these come in, and their first task. Actually, let's move your icons over here as well.
Oh yeah, we should be. We should be out there.
Grab them properly. If you move your icons over to the yellow rectangle area, their first task is going to be attacking you two.
Oh, goody.
Varix, if you move your icon over there.
Yeah, my thing is it's like really choppy.
Yeah, something to do with the size of the scene, or?
Yeah, it is a relatively taxing screen. I've gone ahead and moved you over there.
Okay.
So these are two large battleships, which are roughly the scale that they appear on here. We can actually measure them. So let's actually I can't measure them because I do wish that the zooming in and out and stuff of Roll20 was a bit smoother.
Yeah.
These are about 4 kilometers long each.
Okay.
They move in from the flanks of the area that you've been engaging in. They come screaming in with engines on full blast, and they basically arrange themselves so that they have broadside on this whole area, and they both unleash a massive barrage of weaponry, which is just going to try and saturate the air throughout this whole space. So to avoid that, let's see. You can either make so it's going to be probably speed defense rolls, unless you want to tank it, in which case it'll be might. It is going to be difficulty 8. You're going to have assets from working together, and you can either basically either Nye can ride on barracks, in which case it's just going to be a defense roll for barracks, or you can be moving separately, in which case you both make a defense roll. So it depends on whether you want to like pull your chances or kind of hedge your bets.
Right. What do you think, Verix?
But actually, sorry, just quickly before that, if anyone else thinks they can do anything which would aid in this situation, then speak up now.
We're screwed.
You guys advanced so far.
And that is kind of true.
That far out.
But we're good. What is that, like 30 kilometers out, something like that? So on the horizon.
We could blow the plan to try and help you guys, but depends. Do you
We'll be
get through this?
Yeah.
Just fall back, baby.
What if?
Typical DPS, always running out of range of the healer.
Yeah. This is an idea that I've had. What if we head towards one of the ships and try and get them to shoot each other?
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
Ooh, do you still have that? Do you still have your ciphers? Can the barracks use ciphers still?
Let's say yes.
Sure.
Do you still have that genocide device?
It's a good device.
Well, I mean, I actually have 2 genocide devices, so you gotta be a bit more specific.
Yeah, have two. Okay, the one that we used before that managed to wipe out entire race.
One in each nostril, you gotta sneeze them out.
I mean, I'm really worried about collateral damage on that one.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, yeah.
There's millions.
If
Just
there's
the way it
anything
works
living
with
here,
like spreading from person to person, it is certainly a relatively risky strategy. Also, just to point out, although you're welcome to use those or any other tactics you like, just bear in mind that these are just 2 ships out of the whole fleet.
Yeah, I think
A lot of
I-
larger ones anyway.
although I will say I have another thing up my sleeve that I do want to try later. No, I think I like the idea of just trying to flying between the 2 ships, trying to like at least they cannot get such an easy firing solution on us.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Okay, so with that, are you going to be rolling together or separate?
Well, I mean, it would rolling separately bring the difficulty down, because otherwise it seems like, sorry, Varix, it's a better idea for you just to take the risk.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean,
Or
so,
what's the advantage of us rolling separately?
so basically, if you roll together, i.e., just Varric rolls, that's going to indicate that Nye is basically riding on Varric's back, and he's the one who's doing all the evading and so forth. So that means, your success is just going to come down to 1 dice roll. So if he fails, then you're both going to take damage. If you do it separately, then
Yes.
whoever fails their roll will take damage, and if someone else succeeds, then they will not. Does that make
May I
sense?
make the suggestion that I take the roll, but you try and you take another roll to see how much you can help me on account of, having a telepathic link and very good spatial awareness. You can help me navigate better than I could.
Okay, yeah, I will.
So I mean, you're the pilot.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, let's do it this way. So it's still going to be a difficulty 8 for you, Nye. This could be speed, or if you wanted intellect, I presume you won't want to do that.
Probably speed, yeah.
And if you succeed, then you will give an extra. Actually, let's say you'll reduce the difficulty by 2 for barracks on top of your working together asset.
Okay, so this is speed defense, or
Let's see. It kind of could be either. So I guess if you can choose which you want to do.
okay,
Actually, no, sorry, they're attacking. So it is a defense actually.
right. Okay, so that is I've got an asset. I've got specialized in speed defense, and I'm putting 4 effort into it. Let's go. Ah!
Wow. Okay, so you succeed with a plum. You're perfectly in sync with your draconic companion, and you're able to. So you basically got like 2 sets of eyes, and you also have a kind of master acrobat calling the plays for you, Varex. So actually, I'm going to reduce the difficulty by 3 for that, I think.
I am going to pay for these good rolls later.
Yeah, I'm going to say the major effect of this is actually that you are able to like draw their fire and trick them into shooting at each other, which I think that's the best solution. So Barracks, you now have to do the avoiding getting blown up part. So again, this is going to be difficulty 8. It's reduced, I'm going to say actually by 2, so it's difficulty 6, and then you have the asset from working with Nye.
Okay, and what is might or speed?
It's speed unless you want to tank it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm more of a tanking it kind of.
Assuming you want them to shoot each other, you should probably let those bullets go past.
Well, like I just it goes through one of my wings, but that just heals and whatever. Shit.
Well, you could have it that you intercept. So what's
Like
being
headbutt
fired?
one into the other.
Yeah. So what's being fired is like a large barrage of missiles again, but also laser beams. So you could do something like.
Reflect the lasers.
Oh yeah, you could totally reflect the lasers with your shiny scales. And maybe by directing them at the other ship, that also basically generates a huge amount of heat, which all of the missiles also lock onto.
Oh yes.
Varix is just like a disco Death Star.
Well, so this is what you're going for at least, but go ahead and make the roll. So it's difficulty 6 with an asset.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
High five.
High five.
Well in the
Jail
roll
five.
today.
Careful, guys.
Oh god, it's all going to come back horribly for us, isn't it?
Well,
This
I mean,
cannot
we're
last.
rolling ones. I mean, that's not
We're
how.
going to have a Valara times 20 backwards, aren't we? Just blaster our troops in cities.
In tabletop RPGs, karma is real.
Yes.
So I think, let's see. Yeah, you know what? I think because you've got both a major effect and a minor effect, I'm going to say that is enough to not only successfully succeed in your plan and avoid taking any damage, but it's going to affect both of the ships at once. And so, in other words, it's working both ways. Both of them are firing at each other, and because you previously made yourself such a threat by taking out all of the missiles, they unleashed their the full weight of their weaponry at you, trying to take you out in one shot. So as a result of that, they both get taken out.
Damn,
You
we're
hate
good.
yourself. Why are you hating yourself?
So let me just quickly put the big X's of death on these guys.
I love those X's.
Oops. And let me also, just for kicks, do some special effects.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
So these things both get blown the fuck out of the sky. Please put some nice description on that. It's going to be quite a spectacular show from the people watching from the mountain range.
Well, I mean, I am trying to, help him evade out of the way of things, whereas Varix, do you want to take up the description here?
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, you're like I don't know, let's say you roll up into a little ball and you angle your body so the lasers just deflect at the perfect angle to have them shear off and go into the other ships.
Oh, special effects are so fun. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking, it seems to be something like these huge barrages of light, um, they're converging on your position from these two giant warships, which seem to have you caught in that crossfire and perfectly positioned to be destroyed. But as these laser beams strike in the center, there's a brilliant kind of burst of light. Lasers go shooting off in all directions, but Barracks does like a graceful kind of spin in place that directs both barrages of lasers across his glinting scales and towards the large shadowy shapes of these warships, which get struck with kind of glittering glittering impact marks. With a huge shower of sparks, which draws the attention of the great swarms of missiles that are also crossing this space. They swarm past the area where Varix and Nye are, but don't hit either of them, and instead go streaming across the space in the opposite directions, and also home in on these warships and just like pancake right across the sides of them. With a huge rolling, kind of thunderous, cracking, booming kind of sound, which leaves both of the warships critically damaged. Their kind of reactors and engines start to explode, and they crash down onto the plain below and light up the area with even more flames and light, as you are left just swishing and swooping victoriously through the sky above them. Very nice. So, having done that, it is now your guys' turns. So, if you want, you can. If you wanted, you could go and take the fight to the fleet, or you could retreat, or everyone else who is currently hiding could continue hiding, or could do something if they wanted. Otherwise, you can basically just wait for the aliens to make their next move.
I think it
On
might.
the unencrypted radio, I'm going to yell out to Nye and Varix, fall back. for real's easy.
Yeah.
But also fall back. There's that.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've done enough for now.
Yeah, I'd like to put out some support as well to say something along the line of, oh, we can't hold out much longer. We need your help evacuating or retreating. Maybe work better. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Basically. Panic. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. We need to go hide somewhere.
Help us lose against these strong aliens.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Run away before they get this secret power that's hidden here.
So I won't make you roll for that because you already did a very good roll for it before. But yes, suffice to say that nothing so far has given the aliens any different impression than the one that they have got so far. Well, apart from the fact that these two fighters are far more fearsome than what they had estimated before.
Okay. So I guess it will say, it will be like, okay, we're on our way back. Hopefully we've bought. I just hope to God that we've held them off long enough.
In full force.
Yeah.
If they bring any significant force, we're doomed.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
We'll say something along the lines, this was all we had. I'm really badly injured. Let's fall back, fall back.
Nice.
Need medical attention.
Yeah, if you're not doing anything else, then I'd say you can certainly fly back to the mountain range if that's where you want to go.
Yeah. So I say that I need medical attention, but what I really mean is I need a cigar.
So Barracks, I presume, is flying with like the equivalent of a kind of limp as he goes.
Yeah, but I'm also winking.
You did, in fact, manage to completely avoid taking any damage there, so that's very nice. So, is anyone else taking any action, or are you waiting for the aliens to advance further?
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Station's just outside, cleaning what would be his windshield, repairing basically.
I imagine him like casually smoking a cigarette, but I don't know if he would smoke.
Yeah, I think he would on this
How
occasion.
many?
Just the one.
Just like a full pack of 20.
Yeah, just the one pack.
Got a
That's
couple
all.
stuck in his ears. Cool. So Stacen is just keeping his cool, and as a result, keeping all of the troops around him also cool. They're all like very much like in awe of the fact that they're in the presence of the legendary, literally legendary fighter Stacen Jaden and his fancy new warmobile. Speaking of which, actually, I guess this is an opportunity to. So you'll have been like, you'll have been able to requisition any kind of vehicle that the church has at its disposal, which currently is a very considerable selection. So if you just kind of quickly outline, I think we saw the picture of it before, and it's like a badass like car with kind of guns and missiles and stuff
Like
on
an
it.
armor-plated Mustang, but a futuristic Mustang, obviously, with Gatling guns popping out of the hood. And it's also got the AI upgrade that his last car had, which was one of the War Machine's AIs.
Oh, Kit Harington.
Yeah, that's it. Kit Harington, perfect. And the AIs essentially in what I can only assume was like a really long montage sequence have given the car, the last Stationmobile, a makeover. And so it's now, when it's in its car form, it is like the badass Mustang, and it can transform into a sort of Titan, not the Titan that we see down south, the gigantic Titan, but just like a normal, small,
Small
Yeah,
height.
like a mech.
yeah, mech. The kind that falls. Yes.
Right. Okay, so I think with that, we're going to take our 10-minute break.
Okay, stop in the stream. Sometime. No.